Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Russ Phillips team. Hey, I have pulled in one of our super dynamic buyer agents, buyer specialists today. This is Jen Brown. Jen has been with us now for 4 years on the Russ Phillips team, and Jen is logging some great successes for our buyers, even in this super competitive seller's market. Jen, you just had a very interesting experience. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. I was introduced to some buyers that were moving here, and they were supposed to come in during Snowmageddon, and they got stuck in New Mexico while all of Texas was shut down. And when they finally made it in, they had just packed everything up and was moving here, and they needed a home. And so I was able to help them with that. I would like to point out that my track record is stellar right now. I have had 0 people go homeless.
Oh, good. And
So
these folks actually had sold their home and left another state, coming here without a destination, basically, right?
destination, all they knew was they liked Georgetown
Uh-huh.
or the surrounding areas.
Okay.
And so they
And
got
what,
here. I'm sorry.
and what results were you able to get?
Uh, they were able to buy a home in Liberty Hill. Day one, first house that we saw, there were other offers on the table that the sellers were about to sign off on. And I had a conversation with the listing agent, and that conversation went really well. And after showing them just a couple of houses, we sat down at Dos Salsas. They ordered some Mexican food, and I wrote up an offer as quickly as I could, and they got it signed and we got it sent over. And about 45 minutes later, got the phone call that the sellers had accepted their offer.
Now, you showed them other properties too, correct?
Yes, I
Right.
did.
So they had choices, but the one they fell in love with was the first one you picked out for them.
Yes,
And you were able to jerk it out from someone else and get success for our client, right? All
absolutely.
right. And tell our friends what happened with that particular client next.
Well, sometimes in life, just amazing things happen, right? And so by spending the time with the family, and I we were able to get a friend forever now. And someone has joined the Russ Phillips team, and his name is Dan Laguna. Come on over here, Dan.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, this
So
is Dan
Dan,
Laguna.
welcome to the Russ Phillips team. And Dan
Thank
is
you.
joining us as a buyer specialist as well. Now, this is a unique situation, right? Because Dan actually comes to us with, am I correct, 15 years experience?
Yes, Russ, that's correct.
Okay, and from a very hot seller's market for a long period of time, you're coming to us from the Bay Area of California. So this market is not necessarily something new to you, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so tell us about your experience with Jen and the Russ Phillips team, and then I want you to share with us a nugget of how you have had success in that hot market out there and are helping us implement strategy here.
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, first, being a realtor and so committed to the relationship building piece of what we do, we're dealing with folks that arguably are making in the top 2 or 3 biggest decisions that they ever make, and they're entrusting us as their advisors and counselors, and in helping them in making those decisions. And so I've worked with many buyers agents and listing agents. So you kind of have a sense of those that are really genuinely concerned about you and what your needs are. And instead of just selling a house, they're really helping you find that dream home that you're looking for. And so it became obvious quickly when we met Jen of what her mindset was, and we just instantly fell in love with her. So it didn't matter what she showed us, we were going to buy it. No, but Jen was amazing. Just her care and concern and understanding. This was a difficult decision, leaving California, moving here, bringing my family halfway across the country, unemployed at the time. So there was a lot going on. And Jen was very sensitive to that, which was helpful for my wife's side of working through this. and yeah, it was just and through conversations that we had, and then having a chance to meet you, Russ. We had some conversations, and one thing led to another, and oh my gosh, I was given an opportunity to join this team. Now, I want to mention that I have my license with a different brokerage in California, and not to be named, but I did talk with that brokerage as well as 3 or 4 other brokerages here in the Georgetown area. And hands down, there was not one that had the same mindset, the same leadership direction of it's all about taking care of our clients first, understanding what they need first. And then our job is to do everything we can to satisfy that need. And that's what I'm used to doing. So this was just a real blessing to be able to fall into this situation, not only getting our home, but then being given an opportunity to join the Russ Phillips team.
So with that in mind, talk to us about your strategies in the California market, because it's been a hot sellers market there really since we came out of the Great Recession. So for a long time, it's been super competitive. I can tell you, having grown up in a real estate family myself in 50 plus years, I have never seen the Central Texas market be like this, but you're used to it. So give us just one nugget of what has made you successful out there in California through the years that you're bringing to the table here.
Yeah, I think let me lump a couple of things under that nugget, Russ. It's all relationship driven, starting with the relationship with the listing agent. If I'm obviously representing the buyer, reaching out, getting to know that person, getting as much information as I can about why their client is selling, so that we have this understanding, establishing in their mind. Escrow is a bumpy road, and there's no guarantees up until the day a deal funds. So if that listing agent has the feeling and confidence that this person they're working with is absolutely going to figure out how the answer is always yes to get through any bump in the road, so that the seller is happy and the buyer is happy, that's who they want to work with. And it may not be the strongest, quote unquote, financial offer. So that relationship piece starts right there. Then moving over to our clients, so many times people, I think, want to share what they know until you understand what our clients' needs are. What are their goals? What's driving them? What are their desires? What's the motivation? What's their big why? And so I spend a lot of time trying to understand that. And once I do, then I can do a better job of advising them and pointing them to whether it be neighborhoods or whatever that piece might be. And having come from California here, I can certainly empathize with somebody going through that process of helping them understand. We simply have a mini California market going on here in Texas. The multiple offers, the craziness of that. Yes, we've seen it in California for the last 3 years. The difference is we're starting at a higher price point in California, but
Sure.
the emotional
Right.
piece of that is the same.
Jen, does that sound familiar? He's talking relationships. So speak to that and how it worked in your transaction a little bit.
Okay, well, with Russ, being in real estate for almost 20 years, Russ is known for his reputation. He has a great reputation here. The Russ Phillips team has a great reputation. And in fact, I just won an offer last week because the agent knows Russ, and she wanted to work with our team. And so being able to call and say I'm on the Russ Phillips team is one thing, but just having a chat with the agent and getting to know them a little bit and finding out what is important to the seller, what is going to help the seller look at this offer a little differently than they look at the others.
So actually the team's reputation helped you win in a multiple offer situation.
Yes.
So that, Dan, that coincides with a mantra that I always preach to the team, which is part of the value that the two of y'all and I bring to the table for our clients is the relationships that we're able to build, have already built, and are able to maintain with others out there in the industry. Because honestly, once the negotiations are done, right, then we're all racing towards the same finish line. So, maybe competitive during negotiations in the beginning, but then it becomes collaborative, right? And
Yes.
that is how we've had some great successes with buyers. Of course, there's more to it though, right? Now we can't give it all away. And of course, this video would be too long. But if you want to know more about how we're succeeding for buyers in the 2021 marketplace in Central Texas, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find us online at russ-phillips.com, or you can call us on our main line at 512-888-9205. We're looking forward to seeing you and meeting you in person when you're ready to buy or when you're ready to sell. We are always looking for new inventory. Guys, thanks for your time today, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, Russ.
Bye.